Indeed, it must be said that the Kremlin, in a certain sense, has its hands untied. It is no longer afraid of mobilization. It understands that even mobilization won't incite the people to revolt. Therefore, perhaps nothing dampens Putin's mood, not even reports of massive losses. He simply lets it pass by. For him, blood is commonplace. By the way, I don't think he is familiar with Napoleon's remarks, but as you remember, Napoleon looking over the fields littered with the bodies of French soldiers, flirtatiously and carelessly said that, haha, one night in Paris will fully compensate for this loss. This, in general, was said even better than the phrase, women will give birth to more. But Putin has lost his bearings, and the realization, now that's news has come, the realization of the insignificance of his own political weight knocked on the door. The weight is lost, but he still behaves how as one of the masters of the universe. He is certainly not a strategist. He is not a master of complex maneuvers. He is frankly not very smart. A KGB officer who got stuck at the level of, well, I don't know, a KGB operative. But now, of course, he has puffed up from the paternal benevolence, attention from Trump himself. And therefore, the Kremlin ghoul began to do, even on his favorite international field, mistake after mistake. And suddenly he comes up with the idea of introducing external governance in Ukraine under the auspices of some UN forces. And this Putin's idea, it must be said, immediately boomeranged back, hitting his own silicone forehead. And in this proposal, aside from the usual audacity, this proposal demonstrates the oblivion in which he seems to be either periodically or perhaps constantly. In response to this statement, the world not only showed Putin the middle finger, but also essentially forced him to the middle finger, Putin sadly to suck on, which he in general, with a grimace of a sour face, proceeded to do. Many sharp and witty responses to his proposal came flying in. Even, I must say, they came from the United States, from the National Security Council, the US National Security Council, from the White House, and even the perpetually cowardly, always trembling and quivering UN representative Guterres. And he, in general, allowed himself to comment on the obvious inadequacy of the comrade from the Kremlin. And the European Union, in chorus, joyfully reminded Putin that he himself is a wanted war criminal, and it would be better for him to stay silent about legitimacy. And best of all, most beautifully responded the famous Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, an American who hinted very transparently that if there is a country that needs external governance, then it is clearly not Ukraine, but rather Russia.